Hello everyone, welcome to the Week 12 SFFL LM Notes. We're here in Spencer's apartments in Rogers Park, Chicago, Illinois, and we are joined by Joe Cahoon, the man who wrote down the literature that is within this sheet of paper that everyone has shared. Shout out Joe. And we have Jake Colt, Spencer Saunders, AJ Friend, Colin Meyer, and Nolan Flaherty here with us today. Yeah, we got to acknowledge he's the defending champ. Today we'll be discussing many topics, going from the power rankings to the Oswego High School football playoffs to all of our feelings about everyone's teams. So, to kick things off, we can talk about the Week 12 power rankings. In our literature, we have the sleeper rankings or standings, which gives us the ranks by record with points for and points against.
I think it's strictly record because Spencer is at the top right now. Yeah, it's
by record, and then secondary is points for.
The purpose of this was an easy way to just get everyone's raw data on here without having to type it. It was all just a screenshot.
All right, let's start with this.
This is a screenshot of the points for.
But that's
it's of the order by standings. Points
includes everything.
Let's start with this then. How do we feel based on the actual standings right now versus where the power rankings are? Let's start at 1. Do we think that I am comfortable?
Why AJ is in 5th. That's the main problem. AJ should not be in 5th.
I think Marco, AJ, Spence is your top 3 group.
That guy is the right answer. Right?
I think Colin is.
With Burrow and Ford.
But here's the thing. Colin's going to be fighting an uphill battle no matter what these.
If I beat Burrow this week, put me above him.
Yes, for sure. I put you above him right now, but the thing about Dylan and Max, since they've reunited, and even Dylan before Max joined him, is that he is really, really pesky no matter how you feel about his team. Yeah. And so that's just a tough win no matter what, which is funny to say in fantasy football because it has nothing to do with real sport acumen and being pesky, but their teams just find a way to win. Yeah. So
Burrow has a major problem.
But I do agree. I think
it's Kyle Monungai.
But that team works.
Kyle Monungai is a great player for the Bears. Kyle Monungai is the type of guy that in the NFL, he's awesome. For fantasy football purposes, when you own both him and Swift, like Burrow does, it's actually a fantasy football nightmare.
It's like Jones and Jordan Mason.
Yeah. Speaking of Burrow, though, I do want to give them credit. Every time I look at that team, I'm like, how do they have as many wins as they do? But they've just been hitting.
Okay, it's like that every year with Burrow. Every single year, it's how are they at the top of the rankings.
That's true.
It's because they're never in the bottom half of points against.
That is absolutely true.
It's true.
I mean, the playoffs is the lowest score last year.
Here's what I'll say though: Burrow is 4th in points for right now. It's not like they're not.
Yes,
I'm saying this year, yes. They have already.
Arguably the best keep this year. McBride?
Yes. I would say that McBride might be the best keeper.
He's a PPR machine.
He's been the number 1 tight end by far, I think.
I mean, I don't want to put out the non-sexy answer here, but AJ After PRB1.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of.
Alright,
sorry.
It remains to be seen if CMC will stick around. It seems like he will, but we never know with him.
I got V-Rob.
Okay, but there's also...
Let's not forget that keeping McCaffrey is something that you would get the nod from everybody. It's that has a chance. Keeping McBride is an amazing, ballsy move that has played out for him.
Wait. I wouldn't even say if it was a ballsy move, though, because it was near the end of the 3rd. But he was ranked at the top of the 3rd. So it's kind of a similar situation where Nolan had, where he was the 14th... I have a timer.
Okay.
It was the 14th overall pick with Nico Collins.
That makes sense.
But so it was ranked at the top of the 2nd. So you keep whoever's at the top of the round.
Yeah, it's trying to get.
Trey McBride was at the top of the 3rd, and then they ended up picking last for their draft spot. Great keep.
Yeah.
I'll give you credit, but I'm not saying it was an out-of-pocket keep at all.
Right, the value was there because of what they were picking.
Dude, didn't
Should we-
think that McCaffrey was like later on? And you're like, wasn't he number 10 or something?
Yeah. No, I thought he was gonna be a second round. I thought he was gonna be a second round keep. I thought he was like 14 or something.
You're
It's
looking
like-
at like the
Oops, like,
Uber.
I kept one of the best players in fantasy in
Yeah.
the past decade.
I was planning to keep him anyway, but I was just
Anyway.
hoping I got him later.
So, okay,
Should we address
So let's
the whole
pivot.
power?
let's pivot. Jake, I'll ask you first because you kind of have an up and down season, right? You started off 3-0, correct?
I was bullish.
Yeah,
And then you lost 6 straight, and you won
Five straight.
five straight, 1-1 lost.
Lost,
Okay,
exactly.
so you're at 4-6 right now. You kind of seen both the ups and the downs of the league. I want to know where you're at with the bottom of the league. The Jack, Steve,
Right.
Joe, the Ray,
The
you.
bums.
Right.
What is your bum hot ones 13-12 seed right now?
Oh, like my bottom 2 of that group?
Yeah, who's gonna be in the bottom 2 and be
Question
fighting?
number
Yeah.
9.
It's tough because I can see Scott
Skipping ahead of
being
each
a
Stop.
Let me finish my sentence. I see Scott finishing really strong and being an 8 seed. I see Scott finishing well. There's the thing. But there's the thing. If
Give us the first. Tell us what seed you can be to be eligible for Hot Ones. I think people
all the
Non-playoff seeds.
yes, all non-playoff seeds are
which is
eligible
new
for
it's new
Hot Ones.
this year, right?
Yes, because 2 years ago it was kind of flipped. Where like it's 8 and 9, you
Yeah.
automatically
Right.
avoided it. So it's dangerous no matter what. But obviously 12-13 is like you only get one shot at avoiding hot ones versus 2, right? Scott is in a dangerous situation, I would say, where he could easily fall into that. Same with myself, I would say. I play Steve and Scott, so 2 teams that if I lose, they jump me, right? So, but I think in terms of teams who I believe will end up down there, Jack, just because everybody kicks ass when they play him,
Yeah.
he has a good team.
He's
He's a
a
decent team.
I want to see if I want to go
Right.
back in the history of the league. I think the amount of points against he's got in the last 3 weeks has to be the most
You're
in the
right.
history.
He's
Well,
like once.
I fucked
160
him,
or
Spencer fucked him, and it was
160.
It was AJ fucked him.
Yeah.
It was literally
I mean, like
160
the 3 best teams.
It was ridiculous.
It was
Melta and
And
It was all 3 of us.
Jack was pleading his case. He's like, "No, AJ, I'm gonna come back." Jack, never say that shit.
Guys, I got James Cook now.
He did pop off after the
He
trade.
has.
He has been serviceable.
And
He was
Devontae
like-
Smith look good, and James Simone
But
look good.
I will add, because you're the schedule
Which you are
maker,
at one point.
because you're the schedule maker, sometimes I'm cursing you out because there's certain matchups I have, there's certain I'm thanking you. I think Jack has a voodoo doll of you just fucking stabbing you because of the shit that he's been through the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Speaking of the schedule, it's kind of funny. Joe, I know I gave you shit for calling me a fraud in the element a couple weeks ago, but not gonna lie, when I was looking through the schedule this year, I realized that every single week during bye weeks, the team I was playing, their best player was on bye.
That's
No
why
shit.
So yeah, it's like no
Like
shit.
points
You look and
against,
it's like
that's
my
why-
points against is crazy
when
low.
I
I'd be
drafted,
curious to
that's
see
why it
what
shows up.
I'd be curious to see historically where I rank right now, but I would not be surprised if I'm very, very low. I do think I'm scoring the points to where it's okay, I'm not actually a fraud, but the fact that I saw that gave me so much comfort starting from week 1. I was that's why I deployed my strategy between keeping Waddle and Olave and letting guys play out. So I was
Olave has been
I'm gonna be playing teams without their best link every single week, pretty much. I'm playing Marco this week without Bijan.
The Broncos.
Broncos.
But
So
I'm not
Knicks and stuff.
the poverty stack.
Bobby Stack, it's Bobby Stack that's got 7 wins.
Express.
Spence has 5 more points than Colin, and that's the difference between the 1 seed and the 7 seed.
Right. It's
That's the
crazy.
thing about fantasy.
So-
it's about your matchups.
So, okay, you asked about where you rank in terms of points against. I've only updated the head-to-head spreadsheet through the end of week 10. Your points against is 108.8 on average.
Wow, that's so low.
That is better than anyone in 2024 by a wide mile.
Yeah.
The lowest average was Dylan and Max, of course, at 118.1. 2023, the lowest was also Dylan and Max at 106.1.
That's lower than yours.
Right.
But that is
Was that the
also,
year they
you have
won?
to consider
Yeah, that was
this
the year they won.
this is a 13-team league. So you have to
Yeah.
consider that for
Also, keep in mind, I played Ray last week who dropped 50.
right?
That's
Well,
why
this
I
is
get the
this is not
participation
including Ray.
So other
This is
than
not including
so
Ray.
so you're better than 2022 and 2021 rankings.
So it's gonna be like 100.
You're better than that. In 2020, we have the former points against merchant
Scott.
Zapperball at 107.2.
That was a legendary season.
2019 was the actually lowest scoring season that we've had in PPR history at 112 on average points for per week across the entire league. That's the lowest that we've seen.
Does that have something to do with it being on like ESPN before? Did we like change?
I think it
Was
was
it because of the decimals or?
no, I think it was just generally a weak year.
That was like pre-decimal era.
We have 4 teams that were under Spencer's total of 108 point something. There's Julian, there's Scott, there's Dylan, and there's Jake.
Dylan can't do anything about it. People that score against him.
I'm just saying. And then 2018, it was just Steve at 107.1. So there's like maybe 7 teams ahead of you.
I guess kind of my point of bringing that up and working our way back up the standings again was we were talking about, I think Jake, you said, the 3 right now are me, Marco, and AJ. I'm going to say this as myself, as part of that group. I actually, because I don't feel like I'm battle tested, and I also feel like Marco and AJ have better, more complete teams than I do, I would actually put them ahead of me in my personal power rankings. If I'm going to be honest about that. But again, it's fantasy and, matchups play a lot. And part of the thing too, like I said, for me at least, my strategy this year, since I knew I was going to be playing weaker teams, I positioned myself early to have players that had very friendly playoff schedules. So I think that's definitely another wrinkle to it, where we've seen in the past where the best team in the league doesn't always win the rank.
Right.
That's very true.
So,
So I think in terms of the Week 12 power rankings, right, it'd be best if we have an actual list, or tier list, let's just say.
let's do tiers.
So, I mean, Colin's been a little quiet over there. I'll have him start off. S tier teams, please take the floor. I also think you have a very good team.
So sorry.
So if you want to put yourself in S tier, I would not put it against you.
I cursed him last week with his.
Well, you could
S tier teams? Okay. I'll take AJ just because he has CMC and Jamar. I'll take Tet because you scored so many points. I'll take myself.
Yeah, there's a
wide
wagon.
on White. Hopefully things turn out better.
Colin's team deserves to be in
I've never responded to question 3, I'll say that.
Colin's team's loaded. We give him enough credit for it.
And then as the last S tier,
Do you end it there?
I might have to.
I think you have.
Nolan, were you running backs again?
You're kicking me out of the list? Damn.
And Alvin Kamara, like the fucking geriatric
No, Burrow and
society.
Spencer is crazy.
Oh yeah, Spence in there too because he has Jonathan Taylor on his team.
And Puka.
And
Puka.
Jason's better. And
Honestly, yeah.
I think this top.
Alright, so-
there's a clear top 4.
There's a clear top.
Yeah.
So then
Me and Baroque and I are lower.
I was going to say, so Nolan, I think you are clear. Oh,
I think
Colin
I'm
didn't
5 or
include you in
6.
A in S tier. So how about you say who do you think is in A tier with you?
I think me and Baroque, probably.
Okay.
Right. I think
I think those two, and then Ty's a little bit of a drop off.
I do want to say I feel like we're really emphasizing this top group, but I don't feel like Burrock and Nolan are not capable of winning a championship.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the drop off from 6 to 7 is huge.
Yes.
So A to B tier.
Even 7.
Sure.
I would say,
It's a great
and I
thing.
noticed
It's a
this
great
from doing the playoff scenarios this week. We really have an extremely like
There's no middle class.
there is not at all. There is about 6 or 7 teams that can keep up, and there are 6 or 7 teams that can.
to follow up on Jake's point about the extreme disparities in our team here, Raymond, I gotta say, at this point, you have lost the Sam Laporta trade. This man is on IR. You helped me move Marvin Harrison from my wide receiver 1 to my flex to my IR, and I can only thank you for that. I'm sorry your team is struggling so much right now. That's unfortunate.
He's got a shack.
Amon Ronba, he's great. He's doing Trump dances for me, and things could be better. So I think that trade is pretty much the only reason I'm in S tier. Otherwise, I'd still be like RB farm. But I fixed my receivers. Thankfully, Romo Dante's,
That's bad.
Udunes, whatever, has been.
He's
He
not
was
that
good for a bit.
Yeah,
Getting
he's
getting Amon-Ra was huge.
Yeah, he basically saved my season.
So Nolan, you're saying it's just you and Burrow.
Yeah. But by the way, Ty texted me after the game after I clowned him about Tyler Lockett, and he said, I don't even know what he said. Something about, hey, Tyler Lockett outscored Among Us.
Yeah.
He's like trying to.
He will always
Wow.
have a jab in your text messages. He texted me after the Bills game, said, "Hey, good job sitting Khalil Shakir."
After you were
I'm gonna restate my text, alright? He had negative yardage in a team where the Bills put up 40+ points. What did you want me to do? Start him
I have
over
one
Parker
game
Washington?
under 100.
3 punt return yards?
free punt.
Right. With
differently.
Travis Hunter
Hey,
on IR and
By the way,
Give me that Travis Hunter trade too.
that was one of the best ads we did to this league. Those punt returns.
Oh, I agree.
I think it was great.
Now that kick
Like,
return is a
it's-
legit
And
thing.
it's
It's
guys
very
viable.
interesting.
It's fun. It's
They're-
good.
It used to be just a Colin thing, but it's everyone.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
just
takes
do
on
the
Gucci
receipt
trade,
trade
right?
special.
There's definitely guys who jump into
Who's the
flex
only-
consideration now with punt return yards. Like to put this consideration,
Diaper.
I Nolan knows Mr. Marvin Mims.
Use that.
Marvin Mims had, I think he might have recorded a catch. No, he had a carry. It was a behind the pass, behind the line of scrimmage pass, 2 yards on that play. Outside of that, he had 102 yards off of punt return yards,
Get a 7-yard
and he
return.
had 10 points that week. That's a legitimate flex.
The-
Like I think that's cool. That's fun, and like it, especially in a deep league where it's already hard enough to find flex options.
Yeah.
That at least throws another 5 guys on the radar. Like I could name Mims. Who's the
DK?
straw? The
DK?
straw.
Or was she cheating?
No, well, Shaheed will throw in there. No,
On
straw.
week 7, I had McCaffrey square,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I thought that Luke
Was
McCaffrey
that?
was going to be
Oh,
the wide receiver
Devontae
1.
Turpin.
Devontae Turpin.
I thought he was going to be the wide receiver 1. That was when I was playing you.
Yeah.
This
And
not that one.
He didn't get any receptions, but he had over 200 yards on kick returns. He had like 9 points. Which,
Shamir
I
DK.
think I'm
Now
just a note
3
about
straight
the highest
weeks.
scoring
It's
fan.
been
Yeah, he's the real straw. That guy's been a beast.
That's been awesome.
Okay,
Yes.
Now that kick returns are legit, it really opens a lot of doors.
so let's finish up our rankings.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
We actually have fucking 5 of the teams in the S and A tier here. So it's just Joe and Jake. I'll let Joe talk because he has the most more points.
Yeah.
B tier, C tier, go ahead.
Okay, I think the B tier is probably Jake, Scott, and myself.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. I would put Ty above me then, and I would demote myself.
Right, I'm about all of us outside.
You think the tie is C tier alone or B tier alone?
I would put Ty in the B tier for sure, and I think Ty was making moves. I doubted Ty for the first probably 6 games of the season, and then Scatabo emerged, and I thought Ty had a league winner there, and then he went down, and that really killed him. But at the same time, that was also coincidentally the same time that King Henry woke up from his slumber, and Chase Brown did the same thing.
and
Yeah.
Rice came back.
And Rice came back. Basically, the 3 of those combined, it really saved Ty's season. And
There's so many things that went right and so many things that went wrong for Ty.
yeah,
You know,
at the end of the day, he has a winning record now, so
he does.
he
He's in the hunt.
deserves to be in that maybe not contending for the trophy, but he definitely has a chance to the playoffs tier. So that'll make him a B tier. No, yeah, that's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
C tier or D tier? even,
So
right over
D
there.
tier,
C tier.
C tier. C tier is probably Jake and myself. Colin, where do we put Colin?
Colin's in the.
I might move
He
him
put
to
himself in S.
Yeah.
I think Collins in that.
I think Collins-
No, I'm probably A. I was looking
I
at
put
teams.
Colin.
So-
A.
so-
Colin's A.
AJ, you said this meme once. You said you had it in your own Joe. It is.
Colin, put himself in S.
It is where
Of course I did.
my team was good on paper.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
we played on grass.
we played on grass. I think Colin is that team right now. On paper, team very super good. However, his record 5-5
I have 1 game under.
or 6-5. Sorry, this is the.
That's
No, it's 5-5. 5-5. So
Colin could be 6-4 if it wasn't for the week 4 Detroit defense.
Ty might be in trouble though. I covered the Elm though. He's got to play the B team, so he's only got 1 possible.
Right, right. It's about your
Yeah.
losses. I've learned when you're in the 13-team seasons, it's about your losses more than
Yeah.
like your wins. Because that's something you can't make up. Once
Yeah.
you get
Fine.
lost, that's
Nice.
there.
So I want to acknowledge that Colin putting himself in S tier is, I don't even think it's that high of a take. I think it's a very good team on paper. On the grass, record, maybe not reflecting that. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to see him in playoffs in the first round. Let's put it that way.
Arrest me, Daddy.
Yeah, you would not.
I would concede Colin has a good team. I wouldn't rank him among the Marcos, Spencers, and AJs.
I think I would.
I would not.
This is pretty deep.
I would not.
Spencer,
I hate to sound rude.
I think the thing that holds people back from lining up a Colin in that tier is because he doesn't have like a tier 1 star on his team, but he has multiple.
A-Chain is so
A-Chain
good,
is
bro.
what, already 3 or
You can't
4?
remember it,
I refuse the A-Chain hate.
Okay, so fine. How about if we're gonna talk about like me, Marco, and AJ, we all
Right, we all have tandems,
we-
though.
we
That's the
have
thing.
we have 2
AJ
tier 1
has a triad.
stars.
Look,
So
I'm the NWO. We have 3.
so yeah, so that's the thing is you have.
He's got Among Us and A-Chain.
So yeah, you've.
And Jalen Hurts.
I think Among Us is a tier
What's-
2 star.
I was gonna say, what's Among Us' wide receiver rank right now?
He's probably 3, bro. Y'all are haters.
He might be 5 or 6.
Okay, he's 5.
He's fine. Okay, so it's not like upper echelon elite,
He's had his bye too.
right? Like Bijan JSN, Puka, JT, CMC, and
Chase.
Jamar.
Yeah, they're probably worse.
Yeah, those 3 are pretty good.
So okay, if we want to say S tier, we want to base off the tandems. Usually we base off the stacks, but we don't really have any stacks this year.
What about Jensen?
Who? Yeah. How many yards did he have last week? How many yards? 6 or 7?
I think what Marcus.
You got your stack.
You have 9
I don't. We really don't have any good stacks this year. That's actually an interesting topic to bring up. Like we thought Burrow Jamar with Joe was going to be the premier stack, and obviously Burrow got hurt. I mean, I have Bo and Cortland, but
Which is a valid strategy in fantasy.
yes,
Poverty stack.
definitely
Poverty
can
stack.
acknowledge that. But I want to also say that
11
like
games for A-Chain.
I think JSN Bowers need more than Bo and
His
Cortland.
pace
Oh,
is
yeah,
insane.
No doubt.
He's
Yeah.
got 6 games to go. 200.
Oh, you're right.
So anyway, okay, let's move on.
Right. Our rankings was a good 20-minute
Yeah, so let's move on to question number 2. We have Joe wanted to talk about season-long implications of certain traits.
This is something that I've been pondering. Not only because was this something that Spencer and I discussed, but before Ty, Steve, and I hopped on the call week 3 to do the note, I had my thumb over the accept button.
What?
Yep, and Ty and Steve actually talked me out of this. I was going to click accept, and this was when I was still in my Quinchon era, which at the time was deserved. He looked absolutely amazing.
You offer Spencer a Browns player? Like, come on.
Yes, I was.
But he offered one in.
I was bullish on Harold Fannin. I just got done writing a note about Loveland and Fannin.
Yep.
T. Higgins made me feel good because I was getting the counterpart to Jamar, basically. And overall, I wasn't feeling great about Jamar after the quarterback problems. So this was something that you got to remember. This was after Thursday night football of week 4. So we didn't know a lot at the time. Obviously, things would be a lot different for the both of us right now. And it really doesn't matter because the trade never went through. I just think that this is going to be one of those trades, especially because I'm infamous in this league for making the risky trade. It's happened almost every season now between the Zeke and Clyde trade.
Wait, say his full name. Say his full name.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Okay.
That was the first season I ever played fantasy, and I really didn't give a fuck about anything. Then the Montgomery and Taylor trade. Then, yes, that was also just as bad. Montgomery ended up getting injured for 4 straight games after that, which didn't help. What was the one next? It was
I don't remember.
Josh Jacobs for...
I don't remember.
Who was the guy in Pittsburgh?
Najee?
Najee Harris?
I don't think he had Najee, was he?
No, I traded not. I had Jacobs, and I traded for Najee.
Okay.
And then this year, it's not going to be the trade I made, it's going to be the trade I didn't make, which is this one.
But you did make a trade that had huge implications.
For context, this trade is JT, Harold Fannin, and T. Higgins going to Joe in exchange for Jamar Chase and Quinn
Yes.
Shannon.
So-
Who, a lot of those guys have been moved around a lot this year. Just
Yeah.
to clarify.
Judkins is a slut.
Since I'm the other leg of this trade, I want to add some context.
You don't need to
and
move
also-
up because the green screen might be
Sure. I want to add some context and some backstory behind the whole thing. Joe actually texted me straight up saying, "I will do whatever it takes to get Harold Fannin."
I was bullish on
I will be Donald Trump in the SC files, and you're Bill Clinton.
And so I won't lie, I got a little giddy, but I was a little worried at
No
the time.
Josh.
Because the reason why I dropped $32 on Harold Fannin.
great waiver wire.
It's because I was worried the Browns were either going to trade Njoku or Fannin was going to jump in the depth chart, and I also didn't feel comfortable with Hunter Henry. So I was like, I'm going to throw the money down because if I fuck up tight end, my team's ruined. So Joe coming in with that trade, I was like, well, I'm only going to trade him if I'm going to get like top tier assets in return. Especially since I felt like Joe kind of showed his cards in that moment of being like, I'll do whatever it takes. So I was like, all right, well, I want fucking Jamar then, you know? Like, I'll trade JT. So the deal that is being discussed, the details that Jake just announced, I actually offered that. I came to Joe with that, but to kind of my opinion on where things have kind of shaken out, I don't think anything would be different for my team if I did have Jamar and Judkins and who else is it? That's it.
And then JT, Fannin,
You
and T.
traded
Higgins.
away T. Higgins eventually.
Right. So I wouldn't have gotten Waddle, which changes things a little bit, but I would have still had Olave. I think that team construction-wise, my team's better having a star running back and a star receiver than having those 2 star receivers.
You would have had 3. You would have had Chase, Puka, and Olave.
So, let
And no tight end, though.
me put this
Keep
in
in
mind.
mind-
Puka.
Keep in mind that Fannin has, like, I think 5 tight end 1 weeks. He's, like, right outside the top 12. You know, so he's watching the actual gameplay. Fannin is a stud. He will
He
be
has
a
to be
very
fast.
good long-term player.
Yeah,
Like,
Once he's the standout
yeah.
one guy.
He's like actually, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
So let's put this trade in. Let's
Give me
potential
the-
trade.
yeah,
I don't even want. I want to acknowledge that.
whisperers over there.
I want to acknowledge that this is a potential trade. It didn't even
This
happen.
never happened.
But whenever I look at trades, I want to put it in perspective of like piece for piece, right? It's Jamar JT basically for Judkins and Fannin T. Higgins, right? There's 2 equivalent pieces where you have basically your first round picks, right? JT for Jamar. Obviously, in my opinion, JT favors that part of the trade.
Now.
You,
But in week 4,
Yeah, week 4,
I would rather have
I'm saying
I would rather
this
have
is
JT
long.
now.
This is season long implications.
But like week 4, you gotta go back to week 4. Like
Yeah.
Chase
Burrow-
wasn't
Burrow
looking
was-
good.
Burrow was hurt by this point too. Keep in mind.
Chase
Okay.
was looking bad. But
I was
He's-
bullish on Quinton.
but he's coming off. He's also coming off a wide receiver 1 season.
So
I
okay,
know.
let's put it
Why?
this way: from week 4 to today, do you think
Triple
JT is better than Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Hell yes.
So then, yes, that's what I'm saying. Is that that's a win on
And
that side
let's
of the
not
trade.
forget, this was when I was in my tight end era. I was having a lot of problems at the tight end
He
position.
swept the race.
At the same
Hey,
time,
Rotten.
yeah,
Donut.
yeah. When I was in my Loveland and Otten era, Fannin was my answer. And getting T. Spencer, do you remember when instead of T, it was supposed to be DJ Moore?
Yeah.
When I had you move on from DJ Moore to T, if I never talked to Ty and Steve that morning, I was accepting the trade.
So that's the other thing I want to add too is that I remember sitting. I wanted to go to like the grocery store or something, and I sat in the parking lot where I parked my car for like 45 minutes.
Waiting for me to click
texting
accept.
Joe, waiting for him to click accept.
Just
Because
push it through.
Because it was 11:30, and Joe
Yeah.
said, if I'm going to accept this trade by noon, T. Higgins needs to be in the trade.
That is the exact.
And I said, deal. Sent it. 11:45 rolls around, and Joe and I kept on like saying this phrase back and forth, and I think this is why this trade is so like monumental. This is like the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers that got me done.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
No, it is.
It is.
Because
Do you think it would have changed your team that much?
here's
But it changed
just
my
said
team.
no.
that much.
let me get to the slogan here. Is Joe and I kept on telling each other. Joe would text me after I'd like be a little dormant. He goes, "Spence, let's make history, man. Wake up the interns." At 11:45 on Sunday, I texted Joe after he didn't hit accept. I said, "Joe, let's make history, man."
I'll
Let's
send
make
some of the
history.
worst trade. I'll be like, let's shock the world.
It just didn't happen. It's going to be a big what if, I think, long term, and I think that I would
We're
be
gonna do
interested.
business soon.
I would be interested in seeing.
Not this year.
I would be interested in seeing if that trade would have actually changed either of our seasons.
It would have affected my season
But
Why do you say that? Because
because
Jamar.
I got Jamar.
He's enjoyed
I
the
mean, I would've
last
had-
last weeks.
I would have had Pickens and Javante, but
I also want to say too, having Higgins and knowing that he was really struggling at the beginning of the year, I knew that the Bengals' first 6 weeks was awful. That's why I was targeting Jamar. I was like, it's going to get better, but it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I do want to acknowledge the trade that you just mentioned, which was Jamar and who
Judkins
for
I see.
Javante and Pickens.
Pickens.
That has been a very interesting trade
Yeah.
to see play out because on one side you have a Cowboys stack versus a two very talented players.
That's not stacked though.
Well, I'm saying in terms of a team stack,
They eat at each other's points.
right? But I'm saying like that's kind of what I'm saying is like it's a Cowboys offensive stack that typically you would think, oh, like it goes against fantasy ideals
It goes against my ideal.
to have two
Talk about
offensive
Pickens
skill positions on the same
To
team.
have like Pickens. And
But-
Javante.
Okay.
If we were to,
Who cut Kyron last year?
Yeah, true. That was kind of.
if we were to actually have a trade analyzer like what Dylan did in previous years, I would wager that it benefits Joe more than it benefited you. Would you agree with that, AJ?
Yeah.
You have to remember
Yeah,
that
some
the
hires.
ace in the hole in that trade was actually Darren Waller, which a lot of you guys will clown me for now. But
He's
Darren
coming off a huge week.
Waller
He
is
has, like,
coming off these 2
27
major
points.
weeks, and this is like a psychological factor. I missed out on having Darren Waller off the waiver wire by $1.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
And I knew that.
That seriously pissed me off.
I knew that you really like. I was like,
Yeah.
I knew he was mad about that. I was
Yeah.
like, he still probably wants
Once
it.
again, the psychological factor. I was dying at the tight end position. It sucks. 2 back-to-back weeks to have a 0.
Someone
And I had
sniped,
Kelsey, so
someone
I'm
sniped
gonna
Sean
be able to play
Tucker
both.
for $1 extra too this week. I forget who it was.
It was. I bid 10, and I think Burrow bid 9.
Yeah, I laughed at that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Well, I,
Caught 4 touchdowns in 3 games. Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, we can pivot to question number 3. Joe, if you want to present this is directed towards Colin.
Yeah, so this is something that Ty and I came up in the car with the other night. We both put you in a win now or go home situation this week. I think that the group synopsis is that we all hold you in a very high regard, but seeing you at a 500 win rate, it doesn't add up. And at us going into week 12, you have got to win.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, so I'm going to piggyback off Nolan here. If you look at my matchups, I got Burrow boys this week. That's the big game. Next week after that, Steve. So, knocking on all the wood I can around here. You know, I'm being superstitious, but I think I have a good chance of beating Steve. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, I do worst case scenario, as question 3 would pose, I lose this week. I'm 5-6. I think I could beat Steve's team. And that would put me at 6-6. And I think the 2 key factors that support my point are ranking number 6, the Riddler, his points 4. And then if you look down at my friend MAGA, Scott. Scott is about 90 to 100 points below me.
The fact that Scott's in the playoff race is just crazy.
He's not. He has 3-7. His record's bad. But
It's
But
really
the points
more.
for. It's the points for.
so that's it. I fell apart. I was gonna say I have a 90-point lead on Scott and over 100 on Ty. And those are my 2 scariest people when it comes to record or points
You
for.
just need AJ to win.
And I have good chances at beating both of them.
Because
If you get on a record alone, Scott has a chance.
That's
Scott
fine.
needs
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Scott
Yes.
needs you to win.
Exactly. Scott, I don't need
And
anyone.
Ty, too.
I just need to let the season go. And I'm pretty much
Yeah.
fine.
But he's in for points. Like as long as I'm in for record.
You're in for record.
But like if I'm in for record and he's in for record, like that's what Ty and
Yeah.
Scott are like kind of worried
Yes.
about.
That's so.
Yeah.
And other people have way bigger problems than I do at this
Right.
point in the season.
That's what I said.
No.
Scott does not control the
Well,
destiny.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever happens.
He's made
So-
He's rooting for Colin.
So-
He's rooting for AJ.
So the primary question of this was, do you share the sentiment of win or go home? And you
No.
The question, your answer is no.
No, because I think other people have bigger win or go home games this week.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think win or go home is a serious thing, and Jake has said, as Mr. Clapp scenario here, he's like, we don't got that much this week. Because it's pretty much laid out as far as like,
Actually, nobody does because Ty's playing the mean team.
yeah, where we're
Right.
all set. It's just there's potential to get changing of the seating, but not anywhere that's gonna
Yeah.
The only
This week might not be that
technical winner go homes
It's you.
are myself and Ray with Colin. We need Colin to lose, and we would both have to win. Well, for either of us to have a shot at that last 60, because we're not going to get the points for us.
Right.
So,
Oh, true.
so we're competing in a different race, right?
Okay.
So Scott's
playing
in this,
against Todd.
right. Scott's got this whole like he needs Colin to get in so he can compete against Ty. We are in this space where we're like Colin needs to stay out of it so that we can get that
So you-
60
yeah.
over.
So you want me to be points for just out of
Yes,
the way?
because
Oh,
we need
that's
to be able to
huge,
catch.
yeah.
We need to be able to catch Ty. And Ty's the only one that either of us can.
If I
somehow
beat
you-
Ty, bro, everything would make so much more sense.
If somehow you and
Ray
Ray win,
above us either way.
you're going to be a game behind.
Yeah. So
So the question now is, who do we think is missing the playoffs this year? So it sounds like we're already talking about Colin, more likely than
I think my odds
Ty
are better than 50 that I'm
and
going to
Scott
make the playoffs.
and Joe, right? We're kind of in a position where we're pretty sure that Jake, Jack, and Steve are missing it.
yeah, and Ray.
I'm also missing.
Ray is he has a good record, right? He's
I'm
fine.
in a better spot than Ray.
Sure.
Even
Raymond got
Broncos,
extremely
Joe.
lucky at his
Yeah,
start
you are in a
this
better
season.
spot than Ray. So we're in a spot now where I think we all have to agree upon. Okay, so basically the top 5 is Spence, me, Burrow, Nolan, AJ.
Yeah.
That's fine. So who are the last 2 spots? It's pretty much between Colin, Scott,
I think it's got
Ty.
The team's up for him, which is
Colin
still
and
pretty
Ty.
good.
myself and Ray.
It's just which spot.
Those are the main 3: is Colin, Scott, and Ty, and then
There's 2
there's
spots.
Jake
I
and
think
Ray. Also, maybe
I don't think we are at
Joe
this
Joe
conversation.
points for.
Okay,
I think-
Ray, sure.
I think
Well, who's he playing
I'm
against?
not gonna lie, this is like the least I feel like complicated
Yeah.
playoff
No,
situation
it's-
we've
I think
had
it's easy.
2 weeks out in like a long
I think
time.
Colin takes the points forward.
So,
and then the other
It's
top
literally
six-
just Jake and Ty.
So
like,
Ray
Ray
plays
is
AJ.
contractor.
and Scott.
Let's say Ray plays AJ, and then Ray plays
Ray J?
Burrow.
Yeah, he's
Right.
fucked.
And he has to outscore Ty by
Ray
about
J is
160 points.
Yeah, Ray's out.
So let's just say, okay, for the sake of argument, he's out.
I still have
Right.
to outscore Ty. by
So we
160.
start to decide who's going to be out between Colin,
Jake,
Ty,
Scott, Ty.
Jake, and Scott.
This reminds me
There's going to be 2 that are going to be out.
Probably
Jake and Scott.
Probably myself and Scott.
Jake and Scott.
Marvin's not mine.
That's what
Well, I
would
don't know,
guess,
dude.
though.
Scott's in as the
Scott
seven
could be
right now.
interesting. Cock is because if
Cock?
Cock,
he needs
Look
CD
at
in the
that
home.
camera.
no,
CD and Mahomes need to carry.
Oh, yeah,
because
you're
if
right.
Colin wins this week,
You're
then
right,
Colin
you're right.
probably jumps Cock. Well, he will jump Cock.
I feel
I
like
mean,
He's
they're going to
got
be
one
6 or
more
7.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I think it's easy.
I think if Colin wins this week, Scott's got the upper hand on Ty. And then that gets really interesting week 13. Because now it does not matter what your record is. It's just a pure points forward.
I think it's pretty big that Ty
Where's the
can't
timer
lose
at?
this week. So it's
Marcus
that.
got it.
Yeah, at first we kind of said that. At first we kind of said that it was like a disadvantage for Ty, but it actually might work to his advantage.
Yeah, like he can't lose.
So he can't lose.
Marcus
So he's still going to be a game ahead of you guys.
Yes, yeah.
And he'll still have the points on both of you.
So can we
I think it's
I
Ty 6,
think-
Colin 7. Probably.
I think the consensus, like AJ was saying, I feel like this time around, like in most seasons, we sit there and we're like, a good team might be left out of the playoffs and probably will be. I'll be honest.
Right.
I think, like you said,
I think it'd be Scott.
like Nolan said, every team,
So this is going to stay the
1
same.
through 7, I think is deserving. I think who's 8 right now?
Jake.
Yeah, I guess it would be the same.
Yeah,
I guess
this is.
Yeah, like
I think it will be.
What?
It only took me about 2 hours.
I think it's
Tuesday
fair.
morning to do them, and they typically take me about a day and a half
Yeah.
the first time I have to do it.
I think it's definitely going to be the top 7 right
I think it's fair.
So we're in agreement that it's going to be basically Ty and Colin.
now. It would take something massive not to be, right?
But I think Scott.
I would have to make a
The
big
big thing was
comeback.
Ty.
on
The big thing was Ty beat Colin last week. That was
Yes.
huge.
If Ty had lost to
If he
Colin,
lost,
he
he
would
was-
have
it was
been
perfect. That's why I said
I'll
it
stop,
would
I'll stop.
have been screwed.
But if Colin wins this week, then Ty very well could be in. Or no, sorry, Scott could very
Right,
well.
Scott. Right,
Scott.
Scott is in contention if Colin wins.
Scott
this
needs to
week.
put up big points.
It's not
Even
bad.
just as much as Ty
He
does.
should really only get.
He's up on
Yeah,
Ty by like
it's-
15.
But again, if Colin wins this,
You gotta remember,
Colin
Ty
is
is
above
scoring
Ty
out
automatics
of
right now.
Right.
Unless Ty outscored by 100. You know what I mean?
Scott's up.
You're bouncing your leg on that
Scott's up 17
Ty
points on Ty right now.
Oh, it's playing the mean team.
Scott is on the
Yeah,
down,
yeah, really good.
down. If
Dude, if Warren doesn't play this week, then Gainwell can have a big game.
if Jacobs doesn't play, he is.
I've had
Gainwell had like 20.
but
Yeah, but well, yeah. Then he's kind of
that's
down
a
to like
similar
1.
recipe.
But he really needs
I want to put
Warren
my
to be out.
Here, I scored 9.
Warren to be
and
out.
Volt
And
Martin.
Jacobs
We'll
be out.
go.
Yeah.
He has Jacobs' handcuff rostered, but Jacobs is just he needs Jacobs.
Well, honestly, if he has Gainwell, like RB1 Gainwell and Wilson this week, like no Jacobs, I think he'd actually be okay.
So we have 2 questions.
Warren, I think he's trending down.
We have 2 questions on the docket.
That's good for
nine.
He's
Could
Gainwell.
have come back
Right.
in the game.
Okay.
So
The non-fantasy
he
related
might be in good
questions.
shape.
We can move on.
Hey, if we were, yeah, listen to Mark here.
So there's 2 non-related fantasy questions where we can kind of bullshit about, right? Question number 4. Rank the wine and whiskey we have passed around tonight. Do we have the bottle of Ray with us right here, right now?
This
Come right
video,
close up to the camera. Yeah.
Yeah,
this
let's-
is-
Sponsored by Ray.
yeah, this video is sponsored by Craig Cash Money, Cremon,
Look at the Ray.
Raymond
Marcus,
Sheen,
did you bring a bottle of wine?
Yeah, it's a Chianti. It's in there.
Raymond.
How can I practice?
Raymond, we
Because
miss
we have
you.
the Ray open.
We miss you, but you're here in spirit. You are my body and blood.
And you're velvet.
The velvet label.
Yeah, you guys gotta feel
Whose
this label.
topper
This
is
thing is
that?
legitimately
exquisite.
like velvet.
It looks like crown.
So the whiskey that we have today, I brought Wild Turkey. Spencer has a Japanese whiskey called Fuji.
Yeah.
We have Knob Creek brought by AJ. We have Glenlivet brought by Jake. It's a rye, isn't it?
It's a Scotch.
Scotch.
Yeah.
And then, Nolan, what did you bring?
You brought
Penicillin.
the
The
penicillin.
penicillin cocktail.
It was. I'm not gonna say it.
Homemade.
Vote.
Homemade.
I'm not gonna say it till we vote.
Joe, what did you bring?
I brought the ramp.
You brought the Ray. Colin, what did you bring?
Sours.
The sours.
Nobody said any of those except for you. I
There's
think.
2 in the fridge.
AJ,
Are
what
we
did you bring?
gunning them? The
I brought the Knob Creek, but there's a couple.
You got
it, Knob Creek.
There's a couple deliriums.
You guys,
in there
I,
as
should we
well.
gun in the shower?
Oh my god.
Joe,
So, okay.
serious.
I'm just saying.
I'm scared.
Yeah, serious. I don't know if you can shotgun a sour.
Joe, yeah, shotgun a sour would have your tummy do the front flips, dude.
I don't care. Man.
So, I don't know if we want to go.
shower, guys. You guys want to go to the shower together?
I don't know if we want to do a formal ranking.
Yeah,
We just have comments about the whiskeys. I mean, I'll start. The Japanese whiskey was very good. I mean, listening to Nujabes alongside Japanese whiskey might have been one of the most fitting things I've ever felt in my life.
As the hip hop guy, I gotta hop in here for those of you who don't know. Nujabes is a Japanese. I wouldn't even call him a hip hop producer. He's technically like a composer and producer.
Yeah,
he does like
composer.
a lot of different. Does a lot of different like genres of music, but leans more on the hip hop side.
Yeah.
So yeah, Japanese guy. We had the Japanese whiskey. Good vibe.
It was the Japanese whiskey was awesome.
So, I don't know if anybody had any other comments on it.
I was gonna say Nolan's mixed drink that he brought was awesome as well.
What was it called again?
The penicillin.
Penicillin.
How do you make it?
You take Scotch whiskey. You have ginger syrup, lemon, and honey. Shake it up with ice, and yeah.
So, Nolan, you've been very interested in the cocktail mixing scene. You've made many espresso martinis in your time.
True. I don't actually make them Taylor make. Well, I did make them with you
Yeah,
and Jake.
they were
but
good.
Taylor's were better than mine. So
Okay.
As an amateur mixologist, have you ever tried making a whiskey sour with a egg whip?
no, I never got that country
I've done that before. It tastes like shit.
The egg white.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try it.
No, it's not good.
Now I won't.
Don't do
I
it.
think they add like such a little amount, if anything.
No, it just makes it foamy and you feel
Yeah, it
like
makes it
you're,
foamy.
you
apparently.
feel like you're drinking raw egg.
So Stephen Frank.
Yeah.
So we only have 2 of us in the circle
He
right
drinks
now.
raw eggs.
We only have 2 of us sipping Ray's liquid.
I'm gonna definitely.
We
go
have
with
Jake and we have Joe. Do you have any comments on the wine?
I think it's awesome.
Rocky cross.
You know, I'm not typically a red. I really like this.
Yeah, the Ray's a very
It-
good
Oh yeah, Spencer has the Ray too. Sorry.
Right, if I'm complimenting your red, it's a good
The red
red
is
because
good.
I typically don't.
Yeah.
Shout
Awesome.
out Craig.
You can tell it's nice because cheap Cabernet is extremely dry. It feels like you're drinking printer paper.
Nice.
This actually has some like flavor to it.
Yeah.
It's good.
I agree.
Right, it tastes exquisite.
Wait, can I start off number 5?
Go ahead. Yeah.
That sounds like apple.
Thank you. I love to talk about
What?
I have a question. Maybe if someone could convince me, I'll find time to go to the game. What's going on with the OHS rest of the season? Who's all going to the game? Who's going to be wearing the most orange and blue? I have a question. My question is, so I looked it up. Rankings of Illinois players in the state. I couldn't find anybody on the 24/7 Sports for this season's Oswego team.
Yeah.
I looked last year. I found 2 guys. I already forgot the names. It was a receiver.
One was a Cooney.
It was a receiver and Cooney.
Yeah.
So Cooney was higher. He didn't play.
He was
I
Iowa.
think he redshirted this year.
Yeah, he
He
broke
didn't
his
play.
foot.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's huge. Anyway, dude's 6'3". Says he's 6'3" on 24/7. That's fucking giant. Cooney's 5'6".
What did he feed him, bro?
Pretty small.
Who did Cooney marry? Fucking Amazon? Anyway.
So we have, as far as I can tell from the Chicago Tribune articles that I've seen, we have, last game we had a wide receiver that was a
Velasco, 2
Velasco.
touchdowns and a pick 6.
Oh, had an awesome game.
Wait,
Yeah,
both ways?
We have a guy that's
We
going to
got our tracks covered.
He does play both ways. Was it against Maine South or was it against
It was Maine South.
Maine South,
yeah.
he had 2 touchdowns. He had an awesome game, a lot of receptions, a lot of
Pick
yards.
6 too.
So that's a player to watch on
Yeah.
offense.
Is he white? Sorry.
He's mixed. He's Mariano
Yeah.
Velasco.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a player to watch
Mexican.
on offense. Is this Velasco?
So Latin King?
I don't know.
When you treat as black and Mexican, you're gonna call him Latin? I don't know.
So that's a player to watch on offense. On defense, forget the name as well, but he had like 3 turnovers, maybe 4 turnovers. I think it might have been either a safety or a DB. I don't have a name on hand, but like you said, they haven't really been making headlines as like, oh, D1 offers,
Yeah.
but they've been popping off.
They're about to be getting off.
This team was a very I mean, they went 7-2.
What are they at 10?
They lost to
They
York
were
Pelham.
an 11 seed. Lost to York Pelham back-to-back weeks. So it really felt like, and that was like mid-season. So it really felt like, okay, mediocre Panther season. Maybe you win a playoff game, right? This has been a big surprise. But it's the same thing every year. You build a good defense. The quarterback's good. He's the OC's son. He's Kleinhaus. He's good.
I'll be
He
frank.
can
When I
complete a
remember
pass.
when we were in
He's
high
a
school,
junior, right?
all of
Yeah.
our varsity teams ran through the quarterback. Can they complete a pass? Short pass.
And he couldn't. But this guy can. And
It's,
that's the
it is
difference with this
crazy in
team.
high school bowl how few quarterbacks can consistently deliver.
But
Well,
if they do, the team's
dude,
so much better.
Kleinhaus, he throws it probably 12 times a game, but he completes about 9 of them. And, he's accurate with about 11 of them. He's going to put it where it needs to be, and that's all you need. Velasco
Is he
a
better than
stud.
Levi?
Way better.
Okay, that's my
Way
question. I feel like people said Levi wasn't awful. They were like Levi's path. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna step in and
No offense to
Yeah,
Levi.
you're the expert.
I'm gonna step in and support my boy, former QBF guy.
See?
But Levi was way better than people give him credit for. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
he's-
Levi, I think people don't realize how hard it is to be a quarterback,
It's
especially
super hard.
Especially not only to play the quarterback position and it's at the high school level, but it's still really hard.
Sure.
Yeah,
8A school.
Like,
You
we-
know,
we-
fill the shoes of
we
some good
truly
players.
did.
We had some good Oswego quarterbacks.
We-
he came right after Steve.
The quarterbacks truly did know the entire offense, the back of their hand. But Jake, we used to go and do training as quarterbacks at 5, 6 in the morning before we started our 8 a.m. practices in the summers. We worked hard, and Levi was a hard worker. And I'll even go as far as to say, because I know it was a conversation back in the day, but I think Levi was overall, as a quarterback, a better player than Cody was.
Oh, he was our best option. I still agree with
He
that.
was a better
We just
leader.
didn't have.
Okay, give me
He
a comp.
had-
Levi, Carter, Turnquist.
No, Carter was better, I think. We were younger, so I don't know for sure, but I think Carter was better.
I would probably say Carter was better, but he also had a stacked wide receiver room.
Right, dude. That's the
We
thing.
also-
Steven had an insane roster.
Also, I want to say,
Trayshawn Weddington,
yeah,
Freddie Walton then comes
he
from
was throwing to
OE.
Connor Morton and
Connor Morton, Bryce
Joe
Robinson,
Hennessy,
Joe
Bryce
Hennessy,
Robinson,
Ray Shimolinski, right?
Everyone's tall.
You-
Elliot Pipkin.
Elliot Pipkin.
Oh,
Dude, that's 6 guys. There was another tight end too. I can't think of his name, but he was a stud as well.
He was good.
He was
Bruno.
really
We're running 2 lines.
Yes,
Bruno.
Bruno, yeah. Or was it Bruno?
Was he at the end? This is
Yeah,
where
he-
we need Ray to step in here.
Right, Ray would know those older guys. But there was a tight end who was really good too.
Call
They had an insane
Robert
roster.
was before Chad.
Right, exactly. Right,
But I will say that my issue with that, having played the wide receiver position in the SPC, the DBs in the SPC are so fucking terrible, dude. So bad. The only team in the entire SPC, obviously we're not in the SPC anymore, but the only team in the SPC back then, we are?
Yeah, we are.
SBC West.
West.
They just took the 6 best SBC
They did the
teams
Big
and made
Ten thing.
it- Right, where they made it like a good division in the
I
best.
say this as a guy who wasn't a receiver, I was a basketball player playing receiver. Like, those guys were all fucking terrible.
They suck.
OE was the only school that had halfway decent DBs.
You
So
see,
what's
Like,
that-
whenever I got into garbage time, Cody would always just feed me the ball. You can go look up on Max Preps. I have a handful of catches in
Do
garbage
you
time.
really?
Like,
Dude, I wish they'd thrown me.
nobody was watching the games back then, but like, those guys were all fucking terrible.
Dude.
They were tiny little
The
shrimps.
question is, over under 4.5 months till Rickon posts a video of blowing up Jake.
Yeah, right.
That's fucking story, dude.
That
Probably
was,
on
hey, Jake, that was bad for a while.
Dude, it still is.
It's an illegal hit.
The worst part about it is literally DPI. Like, you can't
It was
do
an
that.
illegal hit.
It was
Yeah.
just, it was.
He still posts.
What was it in like practice or something?
Yeah, it was practice runs. It was practice runs.
like,
I was on scout team, looking back for the ball. I get blown up.
got illegal blindside hit.
Jake's out there getting community service.
This is gonna sound weird because like it's named specific people, but I lived like in the neighborhood of Chad Marsh. I lived on the street from Chad actually. Shashburg, they live like 2 houses down. But when I remember Chad Marsh was always huge, and then Freddie came to OHS and he was bigger. I was like, that's not fair. Like that's not
He
real,
was a bully ball.
dude.
I just want to say too, we were like varsity age. Those guys younger than us in the 2017 class, those guys were just units.
Huguenin was a freshman and got put on varsity basically. Like he was.
Well, I'm talking the
People older.
yeah, the people a year older than us, like Stephen Frank and Freddie and
Right.
Chad.
Oh yeah.
Those guys were huge
Oh,
compared
2
to
years
our
old.
age.
Yeah.
2 years, sorry.
I don't know how they got that big.
Yes.
No,
So-
it's insane because when we were young, we just thought we were going to be that big.
No.
No,
No,
those
you
guys
never
were all
get
freaks.
it.
Those guys were freaks.
So I do have a name to remember for the game next week, or this upcoming tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Connor Tully, number 40. He's a linebacker on this year's team. He's actually the leading tackler for the Oswego Panthers. So name to remember. He has 92 tackles with 8 for a loss, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks.
sounds pretty good.
His sister went to UIS. Played
Wonderful.
soccer there.
So that is a name to remember for tomorrow.
I think Matea's brother is actually, you know Matea? I think
Well,
he has a
yes,
little brother on the team.
right. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't know if you.
But yeah, that's another name to remember.
40-yard field goal attempt coming up here from Lockport to try and tie the game. Not good at filming field goals. There we go. 4 seconds left. Lockport's down to 3. No good and no time left. Oswego wins. Panthers are going to state. They will face Mount Carmel.
I'll make some water.
Question number
Anyway,
6.
Yeah, we gotta talk first backers here.
Question number 6. We have so it's funny. We're like so far into the season. It's what, week 12 of the NFL season,
Yeah, now they-
and we haven't even had a Bears Packers game yet. We're gonna have
That's
2
good. This is a
in
great time.
quick
This is
succession.
the best time of the year for it.
Best time of the year. We have already expectations of the Bears at the top of the division. We have the Packers that want to get that spot back.
Yeah, it is.
fans.
Yeah, you're outnumbered. Yeah, we can get up on his ass.
So now, what do we think is going to happen in the Bears Packers games, both at Lambeau and at Soldier Field?
They're
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be a
dog
split.
fights. They're gonna be dog fights.
We'll win at home and they'll win
I
at
think it
home.
will be a split.
I think home and home is the right. It's right. It's the correct thing.
The Bears offense is good enough to beat them at home, but I don't think they're good enough to beat them.
This time of year in Lambeau,
Both.
they're gonna get shook.
I think Packers win by a lot at Lambeau, and I think we win by a field goal at home.
I like that.
That's a great take.
But the game, the other game is week 16.
And then I also got them
Could be
playing each
really
other in the
cold. It
playoffs.
could just be like anybody. Really cold. Week 16.
I'm coming down to Chicago for that game.
The Bears'
Are
record
you not?
last season is paying
For
dividends
what?
for their schedule.
The
this
Bears
season.
and the Packers play each other in the playoffs.
Because
I'm
they're
coming
playing
down
bad
there.
teams.
That'd
left
be-
and right.
Well, honestly, going into this year, I thought the Bears
I'm not
schedule
saying I'm
would be
going to
so
the game.
hard.
I'm downtown.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
I'm downtown.
Sure.
Cincy,
Fourth
we
place
lost
schedule.
Burrow. Yeah, but we played if you think about like last year, we went into the year we were playing the Bengals. Like they had high expectations. We're playing the Ravens. They had high expectations.
We had the first place schedule going into last year.
No, I'm saying like this year, we have a last place schedule, but we still had to play. We still had to play the Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the 49ers and the Eagles. Like, that's a pretty crazy. That's a pretty crazy
Those
out
are
of conference
yeah.
schedule.
Yeah, the Packers.
Along with playing the NFC
They're playing
North,
the Steelers this week, and I think they can beat them.
The
which
Packers.
the NFC North is as competitive as any
You see the
division.
Packers schedule that year? It's hard though.
So I think the NFC North is in a weird position of how the AL Central is in baseball, where it's all kind of above average in the regular season, but I don't see any of them making a playoff run. Right? In the AL Central, literally last year we had the Royals, the Guardians, and the Tigers all make the playoffs, and they were all gone by the second round.
Yeah.
I feel like the
That's how
NFC
the
North,
NFC North.
the NFC North is the same exact way.
Yeah.
Where
I like that
I can't see the Bears, the
That's
Lions,
so
or the
good.
Packers making it farther than the NFC Championship, or to even the NFC Championship.
What's wrong with the
game.
Lions?
The Lions were in the NFC Championship last
Do
year.
you
The
think,
Lions-
do you think that they are going to be better than the Seahawks
Yes.
or the Eagles?
Yes.
So you don't think the
No,
Seahawks
the
are good?
Seahawks are
Or
better.
the Rams?
I think the Lions could be a Super Bowl team.
The fuck was that?
Yo, is that the Ops?
I think that was the the lights.
Okay, so you think the Lions are better than the Seahawks?
But yeah, because the reason. Okay, tell me this. In a vacuum,
It was the
in a
Rams.
vacuum, fourth quarter, game-winning drive. Do you want Jared Goff or Sam Darnold?
Do I want
I mean,
Jared Goff or Sam
You don't
Darnold?
want either, but if you,
I don't.
it's
but
like that meme I said. It's like
I
Dr.
want-
Who meme. When your face is
Goff
not
is
even
playing-
you must decide.
anymore.
Goff has played in the Super
You
Bowl.
put how many points?
Going back to what Marco was saying, comparing the NFC North to the Central, maybe I'm a little biased as a Cleveland fan, but I think if the Lions are the Guardians where they just own this fucking division, and I think
Okay, we're acting like the Lions have been doing this for years and
that the
years.
Lions
It was.
are
It's been what?
And they lost their OC.
1.5 years.
The
Two,
Lions,
bro.
the
And they
Lions,
lost their OC.
the Lions are far and away the best team.
They're still
You
pretty
gotta
good.
remember that night of the season they beat the Packers.
As someone who is not a fan of any of the teams in NFC North, I think the Lions are far and away the best team. But I do think the Packers and the Bears and the Vikings are all playoff-worthy teams. But just like you said, with the Royals and with the Sox the one year they made it, and the Twins and Detroit, they're teams that just get bounced in the first round. They're good enough to make the playoffs. They're not good enough to make noise. The
Right.
Lions are, though. The Lions are that team.
Do you
They
think
have
they
the
can
star
do it?
power. They're complete. They have the head coach.
Do you think they have the coordinators?
The Lions' backup running back would start on every team except the Packers in the NFC North.
You're judging your team based on the backup running back?
I'm just saying they're
You guys
so
The Lions
talented.
are a
I don't
complete
think
package.
you guys used to have them.
I think the Eagles and Niners and Seahawks and Rams are all just as good as the Lions.
Yeah, that's
And a lot of them have more playoff.
I don't trust
well,
the
as
Seahawks.
much playoff experience.
I don't
as
trust
some.
Sam.
The Bucks are always
Like
season
Rams
long,
have been in the Super Bowl. Niners have been in the Super Bowl.
I will note the
Eagles
the
have been-
Bucks are always a sneaky
True.
team.
Oh, the
You
Bucks.
never know.
Bucks
The
are sneaky
The
too.
Bucks are always
The
sneaky.
NFC is
So
just
you're
very
healthy,
I
competitive.
don't understand.
Yeah,
You want the
yeah.
Seahawks defense
And
is
Baker's
scary.
all banged up
And
too.
you can't say any Illinois players. Because Kirby Joseph is better than Devin Winston.
Seahawks defense?
Yes.
I think Seahawks defense is one of the
It's
best in the league.
Javon. Yeah, I think they are the best defense in the league.
By
Houston's
what
good.
for now.
I mean, dude, they've shut down everybody.
In the NFC, I think one of the best AFC defenses is Texans
Pats are pretty good
and
actually.
Patriots. Okay, sure. NFC.
I think the
who's-
Broncos are good.
I'm talking about NFC.
Okay.
You think the Seahawks are not the best defense in the NFC?
Okay, sure. They're the best defense this season.
Okay, well, I'm just
Listen, once
saying
we get to
because
the
we're
play-
talking about NFC playoffs right now.
I know.
You're trying
I'm
to
saying,
say you're trying to not give the Seahawks
I'm
credit.
saying when it comes to plays, I care most about quarterbacks, not defenses.
Why?
Because that matters.
They
more.
both win.
Why does it matter
They
more?
both win.
Because I think a quarterback is going to win you it. I don't think you can say
You don't think
Eagles.
defense is going to win you games in the
You can't
playoffs?
say Jalen Hurts didn't win the Eagles the Super Bowl as much as their defense did, or Saquon Barkley, or any of those other guys. I don't
There's a
think
big
defense-
argument that Hurts got carried low key. He was good, but
Hurts did perform very well.
He's
in
the
the playoffs.
worst player to watch.
there's a lot of people that think Hurts.
I
That
don't
team was unreal.
I don't want to be out here saying that that team can be carried by
carried
the defenses. There have been many teams in recent history that have been carried by the defenses.
Yes, but I'm saying
With
they
core
also have
quarterbacks.
other pieces.
Okay, so you think the Seahawks going to have other pieces? You think another JSN?
I think they do,
You think?
but I don't think their running game is as strong as people act like it is. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, and I don't know how much I trust Darnold. They don't have a tight end.
I think Darnold's the one that really pulls me
Well, that's your
away
lawyer?
from Seahawks.
I mean, their committee is fine.
It's fine, but it's not
I-
great.
I
It's
got-
not
I got-
Saquon Barkley.
I get the
No
Seahawks.
shit, but you get the longevity.
What the Vikings
I
do
know.
in the playoffs
I-
last
But I'm
year.
talking about
I
Super
got the
Bowl.
Hawks
Take them
making
to
that
the
NFC
end of
Was
the
championship.
Darnold
Talking
bad?
about Super Bowl.
Very bad.
So-
We had a meltdown against the Rams last
So I
year.
feel like that'll happen again.
Okay.
AJ Brown,
Wow.
Nathan Smith,
Okay.
Golf had a meltdown against the Bears in
It's
2018.
the
Yeah,
Super Bowl now.
They're both
So it's Super Bowl.
What are we even talking about?
The Seahawks have had so many first half
Oh, wow.
blowouts.
We're supposed to be talking Bears factors.
Where, right. I
That
just,
obviously is not a pop.
We're going to referendum on the NFC.
I think that Colin Sick with the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, I want to reel this back in only for the fact of we are still filming a podcast.
Yeah, we're at an hour.
No, so we're at an hour.
I'll take the Rams over the Seahawks. That's my answer.
Here's what I would say is:
It was one
are there
for
any
Wrap it up then.
Are there any topics left on the sheet or that anybody has in mind that we want to discuss?
Yeah,
before
fuck
we
the
close
sheet. Someone say
Like,
something controversial.
We will.
Rams
We can
Rams
continue
Seahawks playoffs.
We
I'll be
can
back.
continue. We can continue this banter off camera, but for the sake of
Rice eating wings. I'm
This-
sorry.
Matthew
this
Stafford,
week's
the former
LNO,
Detroit
A
I would
wine
like
is fantastic, but you're eating wings.
I would like to kind of wrap this up and kind of keep this on schedule here.
Why don't you start? What is something you want to talk about?
I guess the only thing I would say, I don't have any wisdom words for you guys or any think pieces or anything, but
This guy's not making any sense.
Your thoughts.
you guys are
Wisdom
let me
words.
finish. I was just gonna.
How about I ask you this? All right,
You let me
All
say
right,
my piece.
you have nothing to say.
Well, I
You've been
was.
talking for a minute.
You have nothing to say. You've been saying nothing for the past minute. Please say
Well,
something.
I was just gonna say I don't have any as commissioner of the fantasy league. I don't have anything crazy to say. I just would like to say
Pull a rank.
I love all the guys in here. I love fantasy
Alright.
league as a whole. I don't have any crazy wisdom to spit. I just honestly, I was kind of pushing a little bit for Joe to want to do this podcast roundtable type thing because this has always been a dream of mine. Colin and I used to sit down and do the fantasy focus stuff.
Oh, I missed that.
My kitchen
And
table.
I always wanted to do a podcast roundtable type thing. So this is so cool for me, and I hope for you guys who couldn't be here, with us to be able to watch this. I hope you guys really enjoyed every bit of this because I think we all had a blast doing this.
Alright, boys.
It's not over yet, though, is
We're
it?
gonna start slurring our words for better.
Yeah, I
This
do
is
that.
rough.
Thank you, those fans.
This is empty.
This has been great.
I can't wait to listen to this.
Thanks for hosting
Happy
us.
Thanksgiving, boys.
Well, I
Hope forever.
Right, great, because this is coming out next week.
I have,
so
I
happy
have a short
Thanksgiving.
topic I want to touch on. All right.
Sure.
We have 4 trophy holders, former trophy holders here. We have Jake, who's the Bill Russell of the league. We have Spencer, AJ, and Nolan. Nolan holds a trophy right now.
One time.
Okay. I want to talk about the Super Bowl. And I want to talk about what happens after the Super Bowl too. So, Spencer, you have mentioned before how winning the Super Bowl, you imagine that it's this big, huge, ecstasy moment, but it hasn't really. It doesn't really feel that way when you actually win it, right? And it kind of blurs out,
Right.
and then very next year you end up eating wings and doing hot ones. AJ, you had a season where after you won the Super Bowl, you were the low scorer, right?
Yeah.
Nolan is kind of in a good spot right now after the Super Bowl.
He's one of the best players.
So I want to talk about what it is like for you to win the Super Bowl. and kind of talk about that, and we kind of have AJ and Nolan kind of
Yeah.
bounce off your ideas.
Yeah, I'll start off and then we'll kind of work down the line here. I remember when I won the Super Bowl, I walked in on, it was Sunday Night Football. I had Deontay Johnson going. I needed, like, I don't even know what it was.
Like
Probably
11
like,
points.
what was it?
You had like 11 points in.
Yeah, I needed like 11 points. I knew I was going to get it because Deontay was just hot that time. And I literally just hopped in the shower, I brought my phone in with me, and Extreme East going.
What?
And I
Bro,
literally,
butt-ass naked.
yeah, so when I won the Super Bowl, I was literally butt-ass naked. And I remember watching Deontay catch the pass, and I was just like, sweet. And that was it. Like, there was no, like, big, like, build-up or anything. Like,
What'd you do with the money?
It's like you just came out the womb.
like, I think I think it's not the moment of the Super Bowl that is like the big event. It's the build up that gets you there. Like I started Rex Burkhead in the semis, and then I started Jalen Guyton in the quarterfinals, and in the Super Bowl I started Russ, who I kept on my roster the entire year. That was his last year in Seattle. We all know he was a bust. But that last playoff game, Colin, not gave you PTSD, he put up 35.
Yeah.
35 against the Tennessee Titans, a shitty team, a random game that meant nothing, and that won me a ring. And I just think it's those little things that you do throughout the season that are like is truly what's rewarding. I just look back at those minor moves that I made, and I just think that that's just the difference between being a champion and being lucky. And sometimes I just think you make the right calls, and it just like Joe, like you said with Steve earlier, it's just sometimes it's just your year, and you know when it's your year.
I've been saying that about Steve. Unfortunately, in a negative context.
It's a
Steve has been getting fucked.
It's
not
just
his fault.
And we're
More
gonna
money
pass
than
off to AJ and Nolan here, our other champions as well. Like you just know when it's your year.
I do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
just feel it. It's like a magic in the air.
yeah. No, you're spitting. Like,
I would know what that feels like.
Hindsight's 2020,
I
bro.
also know
One of these years I'll feel what that
you
feels like.
get a good
I'll
feeling.
tell you.
Like, I've also had years where I've had the same kind of feeling and it didn't turn out that way, like when I took third. But, like, you do kind of, like, usually have a good sense about, like, okay, like, I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah.
I will say, like, my 2 Super Bowls were, like, vastly different. Like, the first one, my team was 14-2, and I pretty much was, like, a wagon the whole year. And the Super Bowl, like, I won it on the Thursday Christmas Day game when Kamara had 58
And
points.
don't
Like,
forget Curtis Samuel carrying you through.
yeah, the X Factor.
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean, like you said, like, it's the little pieces you pick up along the way. Like, that was one of them.
Yeah.
The other example I was going to use for that was my second run. Was that one, honestly, that run, I don't know if I really had the feeling that year that I was going to win. I just kind of, like, pieced together every week, piece by piece, trying to get a win. And, like, magically, I streamed the right defenses. Like, I think I streamed the Chargers for, like, 25 points against Nolan in the semis and just, like, squeaked out a victory.
It was like 3 points.
Yeah. And then like, I picked up Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
And he just went off the last 6 weeks of the season. And then Christian Watson, like, also carried me. Yeah, Watson.
A quick piggyback off of what you said, because you and I have talked about this a ton before too, is I think we focus so much on like the star players and the way your starting lineup looks, but we don't look at like who we stream and how much those little lineup decisions change the course of your season. I remember I played Marco going into my championship year, and it was a must-win game. I needed to win my last 3, and this was 2 weeks before the playoffs started. I needed to beat Marco, and Jalen Guyton only had 3 catches, but he caught. You go back on any Justin Herbert highlight reel, you'll see him throw this 7-yard bomb to Jalen Guyton. And that was the difference between me beating Marco. And what's crazy
That's the
about-
most Week 14 Marco experience.
I knew
of all
you were
time.
your ass was peeled.
What's crazy about that?
That's
though,
like
is
when
I didn't get like that against Collins. too.
What's
when
crazy-
AJ
what's
Varner
crazy
beat that
about
to me,
that,
when
though-
you beat him by like 90.
What's crazy about that though is that one play. That one play is the difference between me winning the Super Bowl and missing the playoffs.
Right.
Think about that.
True as was.
Nolan, I'll pass it off to you unless AJ you have anything else to say here.
I mean, the only other thing I was gonna say is like just piggybacking off of what you said. Like the year that I won, I had like Latavius Murray and I forget who my other running back was. Oh yeah, it was Jarek.
He
and
was good.
Jarek and Latavius Murray.
I look back at that recently.
And Watson.
Your Super Bowl.
It was
running backs
Kelsey,
terrible.
Kelsey and
So
Mahomes, but the
bad.
rest of my team was just guys that I like picked up off waivers, scooped up at the right time. Like it's kind of a timing thing as well. And then the other thing I was gonna say is that like you said, you usually have the feeling, but most of the time we've seen like the top team hasn't won. There's been years where the top team has won, but a lot of the time points like that year I think I was the points for winner.
So
and I got
I'll
in
know
that way. Like that's happened numerous times.
So I'll know that
He
every
does.
single year, except for Spencer's Super Bowl winning year, every single year in PPR history, either the first or second top scorer of the year wins the Super Bowl.
I was
Spencer
also
was
third.
the third.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
good call, Mark.
Interesting.
Wait, first or second win?
First or second point scorer wins, except Spencer when he was third in PPR history.
That's one other little
That is
thing.
really interesting.
One
stat.
other
That's
thing
a
I'll
big
throw in
stat.
there, because I like to look a lot into like trends and team
Good to
construction
know
in
that I'm
the
out of the
past.
chance.
The number one predictor outside of probably that, which Marco said, is also just who gets hot. Like, there's no way. I mean,
That's true.
Well, that's
I
not
call it-
really a stat.
Yeah,
you
I was
track.
gonna say that's not really a predictor. But like for me in my
Right.
Super Bowl run, it was not Cooper Kupp who was incredible that year. It was Mark Andrews and Deontay Johnson who got me there. For AJ in one of his Super
Are we
Bowl
sure
runs.
about that?
I know.
Are we sure about that?
Cooper Kupp was putting up 30 a game.
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm gonna let you have your moment. Kupp was a fucking god that year.
Yeah, but you gotta realize that
Triple crowns.
you gotta look back at that like 4 or 5 week stretch of Deontay Johnson and Mark Andrews. It was insane.
Those are the guys that won it.
That's what I'm
Agreed.
saying. Is
Like your
Like-
star is like your baseline, but
right.
what you build around them.
Yes,
is
but that was a great year. To
That's
have.
not to downplay Cooper Kupp. I had his jersey with the Super Bowl patch on it for that championship.
We should have won Bruce
But-
jerseys tonight.
But
Oh.
what I'm getting at,
Oh,
Jim Craig.
Wait a second, bro.
What a guy.
What the?
Yeah.
I want you to be a hockey player.
what
Jim Craig, baby.
Bro,
The Jim Craig stays on during Whiskey and Vinyl night.
you've been sweating all night.
what I'm getting at here
I
is
regret saying that.
what matters is
I should have just let him wear that underneath the entire night.
what
That
matters.
was all time Marco.
What matters.
Oh my god.
What matters in the playoffs is who gets hot.
Oh, fuck, jeez.
My year, it was Deontay and Mark Andrews. AJ had the year when he had the Kelsey Mahomes stack. Burrow had the year where it was the Dak and CeeDee Lamb stack. Nolan had the year where Puka got
Are you
hot.
Woodland having pulled
Like,
yeah, Nolan. Let's hear about yours.
Puka, Kyron, Nico.
What do you feel about your 2 championship teams? You have
well-
the auto pick team,
Yeah, I got
right?
the auto pick team, so that was trying to overcome Matt, get out of that shadow was huge for me. So
yeah,
win last year. I mean, I have a lot of allure when it comes to championships, with the one with Jake where he won off of points or the home field advantage.
And then I beat you in home field advantage
Corporation.
2 years ago.
Yeah, because McCaffrey couldn't catch a fucking ball on the
No, he-
sideline.
It was the
Yeah,
one
watch
yard
it,
line.
yeah.
You couldn't get it in. I cried too with
Dude,
joy.
dude,
That was
Night
pretty-
one.
Nolan was raging like we've never seen before. Raging.
Yeah, that was fun. But
You have to
No.
sacrifice your
the
first
texts,
newborn.
the texts were bad. Yeah.
What about when Nolan sent his nut for J.J.?
Oh, anytime I see Jay Ajayi in the group chat, I picture Nolan's ball sack.
That was wild. Well done. So, no, last year was just trying to I really wanted that championship that was outside of the auto pick team. Even though that auto pick team changed totally.
Right. That was you got that in blood. That was the team that you got in blood.
And
But it was 2016.
I remember we drafted Jonathan Stewart for you in the 5th round. We're like, oh, he's fucked up. And then he was an RB1.
He was amazing that year. Yeah.
We were like, we're gonna fuck him over.
Zeke's rookie year was unreal.
Well, because we went back and forth between good picks and bad picks. Because we were like, we still had to cure enough parts that we were like, look, you can't fuck this guy over fully. So we literally would go, okay, good pick. Okay, guys, now what's like a bad pick by like a round? We would pick a guy like a round worse.
Even my guy,
and then we would go good pick.
My best friend would give him preaching off like birthday dinner.
Right. Robert Griffin, welcome to the team.
Alshon Jeffrey?
Do you get anything to talk about with me calling you the Bill Russell of the league?
I mean, you do it every time we bring up championships. I appreciate the context, like everyone forgot.
But
Jake, it's been decades since I've got.
Jake knew ball before everybody else did back then.
Yeah,
it was a different league.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't wasting picks on Eli Manning in the first.
Right. I just want to say, like, obviously the neighborhood league is part of the lore of the SFFL, but like Jake also ran that league. Jake wasn't just like a one-trick pony. He was just really good back then.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears, like you're on George Hallis.
Yeah.
He's waiting for his 85 victory.
Yeah.
I did run shit back then. I remember, was it this league that I didn't get paid my entire one of the years, and I for 3 years in high school, I made a big deal out of it. But
I didn't actually
this was back,
spend the money on beats.
Right.
NFL champion.
This was back when it was like a $10 buy-in, so I was raging over like $6.
The only people who paid were me, AJ, Steve, and Jack Wade. So I gave Jake like the $30.
Yeah, no, he gave me what he had, and I was like, "This is like $80 short." He was like, "This is literally all I have."
This is ineffective governance.
Because everybody else quit after like week 4. So I was like,
so it was. That was the year that I upset you. That was the 10-win Buckeyes, Believe in Buckeyes team.
That was the best fantasy team I ever put together.
That was okay, and this is where I like
I had one loss.
The one thing I love about the 13-team league is that it's a very limited schedule. You get 12 games, you play one game against every guy, right? Your regular season is short. If you win 10 games, right, there's no bias. If you win 10 games, that's a really big accomplishment, right? We haven't really had that sort of accomplishment since the early seasons when we would play 11, 12 game seasons. So it was really hard to win double-digit games.
Right, I won 12 when you didn't even win.
Well, and that's why I'm saying it's the one thing I like about bringing back 13 is it shortens the schedule so that you notice when a team wins 10 games. That's the one thing I like about it because when we play the 14 game schedules, everyone's getting 10-4, 9-5. No one's going 12-2 anymore.
Right.
So at least with the 12 gamer, you have a chance for someone to go 10-2, and it's that's noticeable.
Well, I'm gonna lose the marketing.
Well, I don't have any. I mean, I got a lucky win, and I got a win over
something else I forgot about Tim too. It might have been the first year that the two champions were watching.
Jack
and I were together.
Really?
The noon slate and part of the 3 o'clock.
Was that when we were all together? It was with Joe and Ingrid, right?
Yeah, because we were at the
because you guys went to the symphony.
Yeah, and we went to a couple bars.
That was fun. Honestly, the way we were pre-gaming that, I was like, fuck the symphony. We should just stay here.
The funny thing about Jack making a Super Bowl is it feels so wrong. It feels like the scenarios where
he should have won.
You'll forget that they made the Super Bowl years down the road.
Like Jacksonville,
the Super Bowl. And Jack should have won because Terry McLaurin had 1 catch for 5 yards.
Yep.
And he was putting up 20 a game every game.
I want to hop in on this too because I feel like
there's a good chance Jack doesn't win another Super Bowl ever. I mean, dude, we got decades of this. I might not win another one.
I just want to hop in and say I feel I'm gonna defend my boy here because I've always been the biggest Jack supporter. I think that
we tried.
I
gassed him up pretty soon.
Jack's a lot better at fantasy football than I think that we realize. but we love to highlight.
Is he hiding
his
it?
mistakes.
He hasn't come out yet.
I would just say that Jack has as many Super Bowl appearances as most of the people in this league.
Ooh.
Think about that.
How many does he have?
How many
One.
years has he been in the
One.
league?
Well, that's more than a lot of
Yeah,
people.
It's
right.
more than a lot of people.
How many years has he been in the league?
Every year.
Right, that is
No.
true. He's been here from
That's
the
not
beginning.
true.
Marco,
Did he join with
This
2
is
years
cool.
in?
You
2
do
or
it.
3
2 or
years.
3 years.
Can we do 1 or 2 years of
one.
18?
Yeah.
There's
You
only
two
there's
or
only
one?
5
One.
teams. There's only 5 teams from the OG league. Me, Nolan, Jake,
Colin.
Bill,
Well, the Colin missed a year.
Scott, and Dylan. Those are the 5.
I was saying, I think the first time we had the championship game together in the same place, watching together, was last year.
I think
that
so
might have been.
too.
It was me and Jack, because we watched the noon
Yep.
slate,
Yep, I remember. Yep.
which was pretty cool. So, highly recommend if you're able somehow.
Yeah.
Although I was shitting my pants because Terry McLaurin didn't play till later, and
Right, you were just waiting for him to shit on you.
yeah.
I feel like this league's very much like the NBA, where it's like like Marco said, we forget about our champions, or we forget about our runner-ups.
Yeah.
But if Jack had won that Super Bowl, I think his entire narrative, his fantasy legacy would.
It's like the Suns. Who remembers the Suns lost to the
The
That's a
Bucks?
very good comp.
Yeah.
But like the Suns are poverty. But if they had won against the Bucks and they didn't, and they went, they
And the
won
Bucks lose, they're poverty.
they were up 3-2. Right, we would all remember that.
Jack's been in every season but one. So the first season we played with 8 teams, and then we went to 10 right afterwards.
Yeah.
I just pulled up Dylan's sheet.
Can we go around?
Which, by the way, Dylan, if you do watch this far into the sheet, we've had 6 seasons of 12 teams. Just something.
So let's go around Super Bowl predictions and we can have a podcast.
Yeah, I like that.
Jake,
Ooh. I think finally, Marco, this would be your first Super Bowl appearance.
no, I lost against Burrow.
Okay, I think you make the Super Bowl again. I think you face another heartbreak. I think it comes. at the hand of a repeat champ again. I don't know who it is. I think it's between those 3. Between those 3 and Dylan and Max. Between those 4.
So I'm losing against one of 4 people.
yeah.
Sure,
I think Marco was.
One thing is for certain is that I will lose in heartbreak.
You will lose
All
in
right.
heartbreak.
All right.
It's gonna be devastating. It's gonna be a Sunday night. You're gonna be like really depressed.
Call off work next day.
That's a minus 500 odds.
Hey, look at the calendar. Get that called in for because it's gonna be a shitty Monday.
Or yourself, man.
Alright.
No, you're gonna lose. That's my prediction.
Like I said earlier, it's just a feeling in the air, and it's just you know when it's your year. And I look around and I see, I think that Nolan is like the Eagles this year, where it's like the Eagles won the ship, but everybody knows that the Eagles are a little bit more dysfunctional, not throwing shade at your team. But
You are.
That's shade.
I don't see it. I think I see a lot on my team where I see
There's a question about this.
there's a lot of
itinerary.
there's a lot of question marks and players who are very injury ridden. I look at AJ's team and we always sit back and we say, well, if this guy comes back, if this guy performs, I don't know how I feel about that. I am feeling like this is the year where everything has gone Marco's way, and Marco's my pick.
Wow. Against?
I'll say against me.
That's the thing is, I feel like
Good
it's so
take.
big across the
Good take.
playoff teams that it could be any
That's a
match.
great
I truly think that I have the best duo in the league, and that's why I think I'll
Okay.
make it that far. But you're better than me.
I'm gonna piggyback off that and agree that I think Spencer will beat Marco in the championship because of the duo and the firepower, and I think he has firepower and consistency that will go a long way in the playoffs. He has favorable playoff matchups.
JT and Puka are almost an automatic 60.
Right.
Insane.
And then Marco, I think, has the deepest team in the league, so I think
it's
that'll
a wagon.
bode well for him. I
It's a
just think
wagon.
that Spencer's firepower is a little bit better.
What happened to
But I
Rashad
think
White?
Marco's X factor will continue to be Rico Dowdle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, you picked him up and got a couple.
What's your
like,
Super
I had
Bowl
2 really good
picks?
games.
You got
I
like
think he scored touchdowns.
we got like 2 20-point games out of him.
My Super Bowl pick
He's been
is a repeat
Yeah.
of my
Nice.
loss to Spencer. So I'm going to go with the crowd.
Wow.
But not a loss this time. I'm going to beat Spencer.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, honestly,
I think
That would be fun.
I think out of my group, I think Colin, I feel the most confident to see you in the championship because we always have a lower, not always, but we typically have a lower seed in the final, and I think that would be Colin this year.
Yeah.
I think one of my guys, and I'm not talking about Devon A-Chain or Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm talking about Jalen Hurts, I'm talking about Gianti, and I'm talking about Rome, Timothy Chalamet, Dune. I'm talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guy that I finally got back with CG. I'm talking about Troy Franklin. I'm talking about my flex. I'm talking about Marvin Harrison. I haven't even started talking about him. If I figure out my tight end spots, it's game over. Which I didn't this week, but that's okay. Like I said, it's not a must-win week. And
Right, we just went over that. If you guys tune back about
but it is a must-win week. I will start Mark Andrews, and he will have a good game. He will score a touchdown. Lamar Jackson won't be hurt. And
All right.
like I would.
Right.
Inshallah.
No.
God willing.
I'm gonna go AJ over Markham.
It's just
Hey.
Joe.
I'm going Markham beating AJ.
Hey!
So the thing about my team this year is, as many have mentioned, like I have a lot of depth, but it only gets you so far in the playoffs, right? The depth is good when you need it.
Depth gets you to the
Depth is regular season.
That's
right?
the thing.
That's regular
Like I
season.
sent a meme to Ty earlier, literally today, because Ty and I like to joke about our matchups and how like, oh, like no, you're totally gonna win this week. No, you're gonna win this week. Like we don't want to claim that we're gonna win.
Kind of meet right each other.
Yeah, because like you don't want the bad juju of like, oh, saying
Right,
that you're gonna
fantasy
win.
guy.
Right.
Fantasy guy.
So like.
This guy, fantasy defense right there.
Fantasy defense, right? Oh,
Fantasy guy.
oh, Ty, you have it this week. You have it. I insist. I said, and then he started talking about how, okay, but like legitimately though in the playoffs, like, I ended up sending a meme of John Moran saying I'm fine in the West. I said to him, I'm fine in the regular season, right? I'm not worried about the regular season because of my depth. When it comes to the playoffs, who knows if it's going to come in handy, right? So I do acknowledge that I have that, but the firepower, like Spencer said himself, and I think AJ, you said it too, that is usually what matters more in the playoffs. So I'm not going to automatically put myself in there because I have the depth. However, I do predict Brock Bowers is going to top the fuck off to cap the year. I think Bijan is still going to be a fucking wagon despite Penix being down. I think they're going to depend more on the run game. I think JSN is going to continue to be
I think
the
JSN is the guy who does it.
Yeah, JSN is going to be the most consistent 22 points I'm going to ever ask for.
Does AJ or Marco have the higher ceiling?
That's been the question this whole year. We've both been neck and neck in points scored the entire year.
I just needed Bucky and Hampton to be healthy.
AJ just needs
Even if
any of
just
his
Bucky-
team.
even if
AJ
just
needs
Bucky,
any of
just
his team to
Bucky,
be healthy,
yeah.
right? He has so many question marks on his
It's
team.
Jamar, Posh, and CMC. Those three guys, their ceiling
That's
is
crazy.
unbelievable.
You need
Absolutely.
a fourth. But I mean,
Well, Bucky,
how can
another one,
AJ?
Yeah, AJ, come on, that's a four.
Alright, so we've gone around the round table here.
So-
We've made their picks.
Well, I haven't made my pick.
Sorry.
I was kind of making
Sorry.
commentary on the teams.
Oh, you're good.
I will say, I'm obviously going to pick myself.
I like that you did.
You might.
I think-
the fantasy guy.
I do think Colin makes a run. I think it's going to be a battle of the weights.
I like
UAC.
that.
Wow.
That'd be
You
fun.
think he's going to the playoff? He's going to the chip.
I think he's going to the chip. But like Jake said,
A
there's
mile
usually a lower seed that doesn't end up making it. I think he has the makings of a deep run. He has the depth, which I think in this situation will make it last. He has a lot of talented players like Marvin Harrison who can pop off.
Marvin Harrison is on my IR.
And we have literally seen Jacoby Brissett be fucking ridiculous. Michael Wilson. Like, ridiculous.
Matt
And he's sitting on the IR, and Colin's still putting up points.
I still have Dortch for Wilson.
So I think Colin is going to be a force to be reckoned with. AJ, a lot of like high risk, high reward players. I think there will be one game where it might falter. Right?
Yeah.
There's still two games you got to make to get to the Super Bowl. It'll be a lot to bet on to have two games go your way.
Yeah.
Spencer, you kind of mentioned it before, but the JT and the
It's a matter
Luka
if you
has
catch me
been
on the
a
wrong
little declining.
It's because of Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has had a presence at the goal line.
Yeah, he gets all
He had 1 for 8 receptions, 1 yard, 1 touchdown this week.
Right.
That is bad.
So
That is fucking bad for Puka.
I'm gonna say for that reason, I'm gonna say Colin's gonna make the run.
I
he
mean,
does.
for everybody who's watched this far, first off, thank you.
Yeah, what are we at?
About
2 hours.
An hour and a half.
We appreciate you guys joining our roundtable here. Like I said, this
Who-
has been. This
If you made it this far, send a thumbs up emoji.
send a thumbs up. Actually, don't send your thumbs up emoji. We'll piggyback off this last topic. Send your Super Bowl prediction. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see what you guys
Yeah, no context, no other words, just two names and a
And a winner.
I want to see that because I had some fun hearing what everybody else had to say. But Marco and Joe, you guys are kind of the our moderators here. You guys send us off.
Marco, you do it.
I think that this was a great roundtable. As Spencer said, this is something that I feel like a lot of us have envisioned as a cool part of the LM Note. Fantasy Focus has been in the realm of the league for a very long time, and I feel like it's always had great reception. So to have 7 of us here today, 4 ring havers, most of us in the top tier of the league this season alone, very contributive members of the league, and Joey and Jake as well. We're going to mention non-S and A tier members. I feel like we have a lot.
Fuck you.
I feel like we have a lot to deliver in this roundtable, and I think that we did deliver. So I'm very happy we're able to have this be hosted in Spencer's beautiful apartment that I hope we'll all be able to see at one point. But we're going to continue our nights.
At least once a season.
Yes, we're going to continue our night with some whiskey, some Raymond,
Some of that Ray.
and some vinyl. Spencer, if you want to close it out, please. You're the host.
Yeah, Kamish.
SFFL for life. Love you guys. We'll see you guys at CC Christmas.
Beautiful. Thank you.